So can we please talk about the NFL? Well, we're going to recap week 13, look forward to week 14 because it's all heating up, especially in NFL fantasy. So I'll be looking mostly at the NFL Fantasy League, the Orion Bowl, the greatest Orion Fantasy League in existence. I'm very biased because I am the commissioner, of course. This is mostly for the guys in the league, but if you want to follow too, go ahead. So, week 13, Entourage. We've got the Vinnie Mac, star of the show, has to be, once again, he's gotten this award a few times now, Mr. Joe Burrow. He is the star of the Bengals offense, and he is the star of the Legion offense, who got what they needed. They got that win over the Gorillas, who stunk up the scoreboard, quite frankly, with a 66.22. That was not a great score. So the Legion didn't even need Mixon. They were minus Mixon. So, yeah, anyway. The Johnny Drama heavy lifting Beefcake Award has to go to the Browns D. I put the Cleveland Browns D because it turns out any team that are playing the Texans at the moment, you can feel very comfortable to stream their defense. I noticed that the Harlots picked up the Jacksonville Jaguars, who will be playing them when the final of the fantasy season takes place. So if I get to the final, that's probably going to be my undoing. Although I have got the Titans D in the semi-final, who are going against the Texans in week 16. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. But I mean, 30 points from a defense. I think even other defenses playing against the Texans this year will struggle to top that. So congratulations, Cleveland Browns. I do have another award for you very, very shortly. The Turtle Better Than Expected award goes to the 49ers D. We've got two Ds on the Entourage this week. The 49ers D were far better than expected. I know they've done well at stopping the points and stopping the run, but to put up 18 points, that is really, really good. And although Baby Got Dak didn't need that score this week because they were playing an Indianapolis Colts who seem to be struggling to go above 80 points this season on a weekly basis, which is a real problem. They've got some talent on their team. I don't know what's happened. Obviously, they can rebuild. Look to next year. Because they've got some great starters on there. They just need to put it all together, I would say. The Ari Jeremy Piven Diverse Range Award has to go to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, he was all over the place. He not only threw for a bunch of touchdowns, but he also rushed in for some touchdowns as well. That is the kind of quarterback that you want on your fantasy lineup because he just seems to, because number one, he's on a good team. That's always a good indicator. Are they on a good team? Are they winning? Are they looking to win all the time? If that's the case, then yeah, play that quarterback. The E Terribleness Award for the second consecutive week goes to Mike Gesicki. The second week running, he's put up snake eyes. If you have him in your lineup, I'm looking at you, Dennis Trey Gorillas. If you have him in your lineup, why would you start him? He is hot garbage. I don't know, he's obviously, he's a better NFL player than I am, but oh my God, two weeks, snake eyes, come on. Get him out of if you're still playing him in your fantasy lineup, you need to question whether you want to win. But anyway, as I mentioned, I do have another award, brand new spanking award this week. The Sweet D Award goes to the Cleveland Browns defense. My God, that D was sweet. The Burt Locker Sweet D Award goes to the Cleveland Browns, putting up 30 points. That D was all over the place. They were strong, they were hard, they penetrated through, they were relentless. It's what I like. That D was sweet. More of that, please. So, let's take a look at how the league stands currently. We have got the Coach's Sons. Congratulations, Coach's Sons. You have officially made the playoffs. It's now mathematically impossible for you to drop out of the top four. So, congratulations to you, sir. That might have been true last week as well, but I know it's definitely true now. Second place, my Baltimore Ravens. 9-4. I'm still not guaranteed a playoff spot because I believe... Now, I thought that the Harlots and Baby Got Dak were playing this week. I was clearly mistaken. I thought that I'd actually made the playoffs already because they were playing each other, so one of those two was going to lose. Because as you can see, in third and fourth place, we've got Baby Got Dak and San Diego Harlots respectively. The San Diego Harlots are the ones that I'm worried about, 7-6, because obviously... The worst case scenario, I'll finish on 9-6, right? So Baby Got Dak, if he wins both of his remaining games, he will leapfrog me, which is fine. But I wanted to my main concern is finishing in that top four. the lowest bar on that top 4 currently is the San Diego Harlots. The worst they can finish, the best that they can finish now is 9-6. So the best they can do is equal my record. Unfortunately, we're 1 apiece head to head, I believe, this season. And because he's got a better points differential, I believe if we were to finish on the same record, I do think the Harlots would push me out of the playoff spot. So, although that would only put me 3rd, wouldn't it? Actually, I think I might, because hang on, yeah. I might be talking out my ass here. I might have actually made the playoffs. Because obviously, the team with no Namath would need to get in there. And the team with no Namath cannot match my record mathematically. I think I'm in. Let me know in the like, have I lost my mind here? I think I'm in. I think I'm now in the playoffs. Because the worst that can happen is I finish 9-6, which would put me 4th. I think I'm in, guys. I think I'm actually in. Congratulations to me for making the playoffs. I've just worked out, I think. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Either way, I'm still going to try and win because I'm not... Yeah, the team with no Namath would be the ones to put me out of the playoffs, not the Harlots, because top 4 is still top 4. I think I'm in. I'm in, guys. Yes, I'm in. Oh, I can bench all of my players this week. Bench them all. I'm just kidding. I'm still trying to win. So, look, yeah, with that in mind, let's have a look to what's going to happen this week. Make my predictions for this week's fantasy. So, first up, you have the Baltimore Ravens taking on Baby Got Dak. I love the fact that my opponent isn't currently playing a kicker. He's still predicted to beat me. But I would say one thing I did look at in the Orion Bowl is that you look at the how the coaches are ranked. The coach ranking is based on basically the differential between fantasy points between your starting lineup and the ideal lineup, i.e., did you play your optimum lineup out? Like, did your bench outscore your players? Everything like that. I am top by quite a way. I have picked the optimum lineup more times than anybody else in my league. So that means that I wasn't going with the predicted scores because the predictions are fucking absolute trash. So I would say that you could take the prediction that Dak's going to beat me minus a kicker with a grain of salt, because I am playing Pat Mahomes and one of his biggest dangers is Travis Kelce. So every time that Travis Kelce's, I mean, touch wood, watch it happen now. Travis Kelce doesn't generally rush for touchdowns. If he's scoring touchdowns, it's because Pat Mahomes is throwing them to him. So every touchdown that Kelce gets is worth less in this game when he plays me. He does have Herbert, though. Herbert's not been lighting the world on fire. Murray's a problem. No, he's... I don't know, is he? Actually, he's probably not. Nick Chubb's a real problem. Stephon Diggs, Jefferson, they're all problems. Sanders, that's a good play. But now I've got Mahomes, Dalvin Cook, Tony Pollard. But people have said to beware of the running backs in Dallas because Houston haven't allowed a top 15 running back in like this season. I'm not sure that's true. That can't be true because they've allowed the most fantasy points to rushers like this season. So one of those things can't be true. But it is a concern that they are going to be splitting, obviously, carries with Ezekiel Elliott. Also, if the Cowboys go far enough ahead, which they might, it might just turn into a big defensive game where the Cowboys D gets a massive score, ends up with the Burt Locker Sweet D of the week next week, and you don't see too much coming from the offense on Dallas's side. That is a concern. But I don't really have the play. I mean, I'm not playing Fournette or White. I'm concerned about because the San Francisco running defense is legitimately good. Like, unlike the Houston running defense, San Francisco's is good. So I'm not playing either Fournette or White. And Olave's on a bye, and I've only just picked up what's his face. I picked up Knight as well. No. That's not updated. I did pick up... Hang on, where is he? Knight, there he is. I did pick up Knight for the Jets because I do believe... I'm not going to play him this week, but I think that Knight might emerge as the number 1 running back in New York. And that could become handy later on down the stretch. In terms of who's going to win this one, I mean... The 49ers D is a concern. I have got the Chiefs playing Denver this week. Denver are generally pretty trash at the moment. So, yeah, I've got Kittle in there. Kittle, the problem with Kittle and obviously with Deebo Samuel, you've got the new quarterback, Brock, in there. And that, because obviously Jimmy Garoppolo is now out. He's probably out for the season. I think that's not too bad news for Deebo Samuel, because the new starting quarterback did pass a lot to him. I think he passed to him like 10 times when he came in. Brock Purdy, when he came in, he actually did pass to Samuel Debo quite a lot. So I'm not so concerned about Samuel Debo. I am slightly concerned about George Kittle, who rejoins my lineup after a small hiatus. But I don't really have any better options, because I've got... Yeah, everyone else is on a bye, and I've got rid of everyone else, so I'll have to start streaming tight ends. But George Kittle's a big playmaker. You know, rookie quarterbacks they'll be looking to make the most of the big playmakers, and Kittle is still one of them. That being said, Chubb, Diggs, Jefferson, they're all pretty good. But for me, I think actually I'm going to do something rare here. I am going to pick myself to win. I do think that I've possibly got the better matchup. Wilson, he's really coming to his own since White has taken over at quarterback for the Jets. I'm going to pick myself to win. Fuck it. I'm going to back myself. I'm going to take the Burts to beat Baby Got Dak. And and that'll make the final playoff spot slightly more interesting. I think the Harlots will be rooting for me this week, to say the least. Speaking of the Harlots, they are playing the team with no Namath this week. The Harlots are putting in Tua for Miami. That's interesting, because he is back. That's an interesting play, to be fair. I don't know. Streaming Mike White might also be an option. I don't know if he's still got him. Ezekiel Elliott for team with no Namath. Again, I do like that matchup, but a lot of the pundits were saying to stay away from that. But like Houston, we look at the numbers. Houston do give up a lot of points to running backs. I don't know what they're on about, really. But maybe they're right. They probably know something I don't. You've got Carter for the Jets, who is number 1 in New York, but for how long? He's only just coming back from injury, and Knight was lighting up the field. I think Knight might start... He's impressed a lot of people in New York. I know that for a fact. Geno Smith, that's a good play. That's a really good play. CD Lamb, excellent play. Godwin, a bit dangerous. Look, Godwin could go for big numbers any week, but the problem with Tampa Bay is that they just pass the ball around. They distribute the ball around too much, even between the running backs and everything. It's just a nightmare to try and predict who in that offense is going to be putting up numbers. And there's no distinct number 1, is there? That's the problem. Saquon Barkley, questionable. Walker, questionable. They're both game time decisions for the Harlots. That could be a real nightmare for the Harlots, to be fair. They've got Tyreek Hill back, who's back from his illness. But yeah, we may see. I think he's got Jamal Williams rather, in the backfield there, so I think he'll be fine. Cardinals D. You know what? I actually like the team with no Namath matchups better. The team with no Namath, who could still catch the Harlots and put them out of the playoffs. I'm going to back the team with no Namath to win this one, because they have already gotten 24 points from Jacobs and their Raiders D. They also did play their tight end as well, so that's not as good as I first thought. But either way, going to go with the team with no Namath to take out the Harlots, to upset the mix a bit. The Indianapolis Colts taking on the Legion of Mixon, who this week have Mixon back. Now, looking at this, you've got... why is that? Just refreshed. God damn it. I want to see who they're playing. Right, so... Yeah, you've got Burrow, Prescott. See, Derrick Henry and Harris, they haven't looked... They haven't been like the world. DK Metcalf, that's a good play. Knox, he's so hit and miss. He puts up zeros so often. Mixon being back. Mostart, that's a good play, I think. I don't know. I mean, you've definitely got a good chance with any given week with Joe Burrow. Who are they playing? Who the hell are they playing? Why is this... God, this internet's fucking ridiculous. Who are they fucking playing? They're playing Cleveland. Yeah, they are playing Cleveland as well. Yeah, that is a good matchup for Joe Burrow. So that being the case, and also the fact that the Indianapolis Colts can't seem to break 80 points, I'm going to bet on the Legion of Mixon, with Mixon, to break 80 points and break the Indianapolis Colts. I'm giving the Indianapolis Colts no chance this week. I'm sorry, but like, they consistently cannot top 80 points, and you need to top 80 points if you're going to beat the Legion of Mixon. No chance in hell for Indianapolis Colts. The Coach's Sons versus the Dallas Stray Gorillas. This is the first time I have ever given out two no chances in hell in one episode. The Dallas Stray Gorillas, no chance in hell this week. They really don't. They're playing Jaceki still. Jaceki has been the Terrible Entourage Award nominee 2 weeks running. Why do you keep playing him? He is so trash. Just because I don't even need to look at the lineup for the Suns. You've got McCaffrey. They're going to be leaning more on the run game because they've got a rookie quarterback in. Jalen Hurts has been lighting the world on fire. Jamar Hayes, Omar St. Brown, Mark Andrews, who's probably the second best tight end in the league. AJ Brown as well. Cowboys D taking on the Houston Texans. That on their own. The Cowboys D could outscore the Gorillas' entire team this week. Especially if they're playing Jaceki, who's going to put up 0 again. He's going to put up 0 again, yet you continue to play him. It's infuriating. But actually, you've still got some good players there. You've got, Akers is dead. What did he get? Like 830? Yeah, that's not too bad. Josh Allen's the saving grace. I'd stay away from Gabriel Davis this week, though, because he is limited in training. And, it's Smith for Philadelphia. That's not a bad play. Higgins as well. Higgins has been looking really good. None of that's going to help you, though. None of that's going to matter. Because the Coach's Sons have already got 12 points from their kicker, which is more than they needed, considering the fact they've got all those dangerous players on there. They are by far and away the heavy favourites to win it all this year. The Coach's Sons get it done again. No chance in hell for the Dallas Stray Gorillas. I do it like, no disrespect, but the Coach's Sons are just on fire at the moment. The Coach's Sons will probably put up 140 points, and I don't see the Dallas Stray Gorillas doing that. But, as always, those that I have picked for prove me right. Those that I picked against prove me wrong. Best of luck to everybody that's chasing that final place in the playoffs. Like I said, I think I actually made it. I'm going to have to... you know what? I'm just going to try and win. The best thing you can do is just try and win at all costs. Best of luck to everybody. See you next time.